Hi everyone, welcome to Taiwan Education and Culture. Today we will start Chapter 5 and Lesson 4. The topic is about lifelong learning. In the beginning of 1990s, the Ministry of Education began to implement the policy of developing adult education. It led to the establishment of Research Institute of Adult Education in some universities. Actually, the Research Institute including the one in Zhongzheng University. And the scholar of adult education contributed to the development of adult education profession and the policy of lifelong learning. So you remember there's a background we talk about the educational reform happened in 1990s. So I think the policy of learning, lifelong learning is also parallel to the background. So in 1998, the government of Taiwan has declared that year as the year of lifelong learning, and the white paper toward a learning society was published. It was the milestone for era of lifelong learning in Taiwan. I think you may think about the before that we have seen the adult education is like a marginalized policy in education policy. But beginning in 1998, we have tried to see the lifelong learning has a very important status in the education policy. And in the white paper, we have proposed 14 strategies in the white paper to promote lifelong learning. This is the whole of the 14 action strategy that was proposed in the white paper. However, 20 years already passed, and we will try to talk about just some achievement among them, so not everyone. At least you can see there are top 3 is related to the recurrent education and also the educational reform, and that these strategies are related to open up more opportunity for adults to go into the regular school, including college and universities. And we will focus only 4 of the rest. Just there are 4 here will be our focus today. So the first one I will mention about the lifelong learning regulation. This is one aspect of the achievement when you're looking back for the 20 years of the lifelong learning policy. Okay. So there's a big achievement is related to the Lifelong Learning Act. The Lifelong Learning Act was enacted in 2002. And the second one is there's another white paper of education for older adults. And this was published in 2006. In this white paper, we have mentioned about the issue of aging society. Then, Ministry of Education also promoted Lifelong Learning Action Year in 2010. And there's a various program was also carried out in that years. Then recently, there's a community university regulation was enacted in 2018. Maybe I will use also the name community college. That was equivalent to community university mentioned here. Okay, then second achievement is about the diverse system of higher education, because many students feel so much pressure on the entrance exam to universities. Therefore, 20 years ago, many scholars, we are thinking about the diverse system for higher education, so that students or the adults can have the opportunity to continue their learning in like higher education. Then we have this institute called Community College were established. So far, right now, we have 89 community colleges in Taiwan, 2019. Well, actually, the number of the community colleges may change a little bit, but they're just about the policy supported by governments. And these community colleges, they are not a regular university. They are managed by the NGO. And they will provide mainly the three types of courses, including academic, the craft activities, and the art and skill courses. Many students, maybe adult learners, they would like to take like this is the computer lesson, or the other like sports, or learning the foreigner language, or singing, or dancing. There are so various courses for them to choose. And many community university managed by NGO, yet the local government is responsible for the supervision, including sponsorship of the funding. The budget will allocated to support the community college, and also they will provide the staff training, and also doing the evaluation by the end of the year. The courses in community colleges last for 17 or 18 weeks, like per semester. Yet they are just seen as non-formal courses. So the third achievement, I will talk about the accreditation of non-formal learning achievement. As we just mentioned here, in the community colleges, they have offered so many non-formal educations. So those lifelong learning institutions can apply the recognition of credit for their non-formal courses. So some lifelong learning institute, they will try to submit this kind of the application for the recognition of the credit. This credit that adult learner received can be recognized by universities. So that's we call the bridge between formal and the non-formal education. So accreditation of non-formal learning is very important. Now we turn to the fourth achievement of lifelong learning policy. We have provide learning opportunities for the disadvantaged. I think in many countries, they have talked about lifelong learning. We should encourage the government to allocate more resources for the disadvantaged people so that they can have a lifelong learning. And in Taiwan, we have a focus on two groups looking back for the 20 years. The first one is about the senior people. The program we call the Senior Active Learning Center. It started since 2008. Right now, there are 363 centers in Taiwan. That means almost every township and every district, they got at least one Senior Active Learning Center. The MOE, our Ministry of Education, also promoted the intergenerational education. And this program has encouraged the old people can have more chances to do activities with the younger people, like in students in our elementary school. And they will try to learn from each other and get close connection among the different generations. Yeah. So behind the senior education, we also have promoted the learning senior university. MOE has funded the regular university to offer courses designed for the elderly. The students in the senior university, they have an age over 55 years old, and they will have a 9-hour courses per week, and the courses will last 18 weeks in one semester. In 2017, a total of 106 universities, they carry out this program. And the other program for the disadvantaged is for the new immigrants, which means in Taiwan, we have more and more people, they come to Taiwan because of the international marriage. And when they arrive, some of them, they do not speak Chinese. They do not know how to write Chinese. Therefore, MOE is responsible to provide this kind of the basic education and then other learning opportunity too. So MOE also promoted the learning program for the new immigrants. Currently, there are about 30 programs. These programs are provided by elementary school. Yeah. It's just I mentioned, they can learn how to read and write Chinese, and also in the class may have a chance to communicate with native Taiwanese, and then do the exchange of the culture and the values. I have two questions for you. Why do adults in Taiwan need to engage in lifelong learning after they leave schools? Well, I think in the beginning, I did not mention about the reason why we should promote the lifelong learning policy. But actually, you can figure out we need to promote the learning, like in the broad sense of the concept. That means learning should be provided throughout the whole life. Learning is not just education for the young people. And then the second one is the adults who leave school. They should learn the update knowledge and also skills in order to better their maybe skills and living skills, etc. So I think there are many factors to affect to urge our government to see the lifelong learning policy is getting more and more important. The second question I mentioned here is about who are the key targets for the disadvantaged in lifelong learning policy. Okay, you recall the content I just mentioned. There are two main targets I just mentioned. One is about the senior citizen, senior people, and the second one is about the new immigrants. And when we mention the senior people, they will have a good challenge for the aging society, which means the elder should also participate in lifelong learning. And then the second one is about the new immigrants. Yeah, for those coming to Taiwan through work or through international marriage, they should have the lifelong learning opportunities so that they can learn to be like a citizen to be in Taiwan. Okay, that's the end of the session. Thank you.